Good day, friends. New project today, and one of my own. I picked this guitar up really cheap, and it's just about worth what I paid for it. It's a nice looking thing. One bucker, single coil, one volume, one tone. It's a Yamaha. It's a Yamaha Pacifica 1112, I believe. Didn't pay a lot for this. It needs quite a bit of work. There's dings in the body. The electrics need sorting out, needs a new back plate there. The frets are a mess. One of these frets has got quite a bad ding in it here. I didn't know about that till I'd already bought it. Also, I've taken my truss rod nut off because it's not really tightened up as much as I need it to. What I've decided to do is I'm going to place an extra washer between, you see it there? Grab my forehead so you can see it there, look, there you go. I'm going to place that between that and the adjuster nut to give me some extra to buy onto, some extra thread to get into. What I'm first going to do though is I'm going to lubricate the truss rod threaded part in there, but to do that I'll stick some Vaseline inside there and we'll get it on nice and loose. We'll try and get it all working right. I've got some lip chap here which I use, Vaseline, same stuff. You notice I've started wearing gloves again. I actually smashed my thumb the other day. It was my birthday and we were going out and I was cleaning the car inside and I whacked my thumb inside straight on. It smashed my nail in half, split all up my thumb, or all up my nail, cracked it all up and bled like a trooper. Really hurts. Can't even hold a plectrum. I was supposed to play at church the other night, Wednesday night. Couldn't hold a plectrum, couldn't play, didn't want to be chucking my hand about, strumming guitar where my thumb was throbbing as it was, so I ended up not going. I had to drop out, which is never a good thing, but could not be out. Really smart. So I've not been doing any work, and I'm not doing any work today either. I'm just going to do a couple of things on this. Now the reason I bought this is I do have a spare Warmouth neck, and I was thinking maybe I could use this body and this setup with my Warmouth neck. I'll stick a better pickup in there. I've got some good pickups knocking about. And I'll put a coil split in there on the tone pot and I'll have a little guitar to play about with and use for a while. So I may do that. If I can salvage this neck, I will do. There is some, I mean the frets are horrible. Look at the state of them. You know, I'd already agreed to buy this because I got it so cheap. I paid 25 quid for it, let's be honest. But in hindsight I should have seen it before I decided I was having it. Because it's probably only just worth that, but I can make this good, so that is exactly what I am going to do. Regarding the dings, don't know if you can see them there, there's dings on the back there. They may steam out. I'll have a good go at steaming them out. If not, I mean I should be able to steam some out. If I can steam them out, even better. And what I'll do is I'll probably then sand the body back a bit, might even get some stain on there. I don't know what to do with it yet, but a nice looking thing. I love the configuration, HSS. So if my Warmouth neck fits on there and the scale length is right, I will have a nice guitar to knock about with. Maybe I could use it for church. I would only use it for church if I could get all these dings out. And maybe I could even get these dings all filled in and get it sprayed up. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I've got a lovely Telecaster body over this, so I don't know. First thing I've got to do on this though is I've got to clean those frets. I'll level the frets and clean up that fingerboard because it's disgusting. There you go, it does say 1112 on the back. One of the cheaper ones. That said, I could just get it all done up, get it tidied up, and maybe I could sell it on. I'll probably get about 60 quid for 50, 60 quid for this. So it's not as if I'm going to lose money. Pickups are disgusting. I'll get some cleaner on there, try and get them cleaned up. Tremolo, I don't like the tremolo at all. I hate these 6-point screw systems. I've never liked them, never will do. I would much prefer just to pull that, get some more springs in there, pull it right back and use it hard-tailed. So that is what I'm going to do. I will come back with a progress report in due course. So, a couple of problems with this guitar. Took the tuners out. One of the tuners, the pins are snapped off the end. It's the, if you look there, it's a 2-pin jobby, and this end one here, pins are snapped. Not that one, this one. Pins have fell off the end, look. Should be 2 pins there, 2 prongs. Show you how they work there. So 2 prongs there, they go in them there holes. Not any on there, so that's a bit disappointing. There are also, and whoever had this guitar before knew this because One of them was missing there. Oh no, it's there, you're alright. So what I'm going to do is can't fix that, but what I can do is I'm going to glue this on when I put the tuners back on. And also I have indentations in no less than 3 frets. It means this has been dropped. In fact, it's more than 3, 4, 5, 6. So this really needs a refret. There's about 3 or 4 up here. There's one there, indentation just below my finger. Right, to zoom in. That's 1. There's 2 on this one. 1 on the D string, not the D string, the G string and the E string down there. Couple on there. 1 on this string here. Again on the G string, just below my finger. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to level these frets and go deep enough to get rid of those grooves in there. Obviously another one there on this fret, the 10th, just below my finger again. So there's 5 frets with bad indentations in there. This has been dropped face down and the strings are gone straight into the frets. Would I have bought this knowing that it had these problems? Probably not, to be honest with you. I paid 25 quid for it. I don't want to put a lot of work in this. There's 2 big holes in the neck here. There's one there which I can fill. There's one there which I can fill. So where my fingers are, fill them with rosewood dust, sand them flat, and you won't even notice that. Big concern for this, on me, with this, is those frets. It means I'm going to have to level the lot, so it's going to be a lot of work. You know, end of the day, if I sell this, I'll be looking to get 50, 60, 40, 50 quid for it. So I'm working for nothing. Just one of them things. Still a decent guitar. And I might keep hold of it for a while, just so I've got a player in there, I can try pickups out, and it'll look good, it'll look fine. And if I want to move it on in the future, we'll have a look at that. But the fingerboard's cleaned up nice. Got frets to polish it, and I'm going to level them, that's why I've took the tuners off. So I'm going to give this a fret level, fill all these indentations in my fingerboard. There's actually 3, there's 1 here as well. Beginning indentation there, you've got 1, the biggest one's there. You've got another one here, below my finger. Don't know if you can see them. You'll get it. If I turn it to the light a little bit more, that's the worst one on the 12th fret. And another one there on the 16th. 16th and 17th frets. So I'll get that all sorted out. Body wise, body's okay. More indentations than I would have liked, but then again, what have I paid for it? Not a lot. I am going to sand this. I'm going to strip all the bits off. Get some sandpaper on there, and I'm going to steam all these divots out, see if I can get them all steamed out, get them all to lift up again, and then I'll sand it smooth again. Will I oil it or not? I don't know, probably not. I'll probably just leave it satin finish and let the, you know, just play it as it is. It don't cost a lot, so no big deal. So I'm going to crack on with that, do it over the weekend sometime, and I'll come back and let you see the results later. So there's been a big change of plans with this guitar, because I actually put it on eBay and I sold it for 50 quid, £50. And I'd already decided before I put it up for sale that I wasn't going to level all the frets, because that would have meant levelling all of the frets down to the lowness of where the grooves and the cuts were in the 4 frets that we had problems with. So what I've done is I've actually replaced the 4 problem frets, then I've levelled the frets. So we've only brought the frets down to the level that we were more or less at, minus a little nth of a millimetre or of an inch even. The frets I replaced, one I can't remember, I think I replaced fret 5, this one. Definitely fret 12 has been replaced, and frets 35, 15, 16 and 17, is it 16 and 17? 15 and 16, frets 15 and 16, and you can tell they've been replaced because I've not filed the edges off yet, so I still need to reshape these. You'll also notice now that the fingerboard is a lot cleaner than it was before, because I cleaned all that up, I polished the frets anyway. I just decided, whether I was keeping this guitar or selling it, that it'd be better off for me to replace the 4 frets rather than it would be to level them all. Because like I say, if I'd level them all, I would have to take a lot of material off all of the frets, and that makes recrowning them a lot more difficult. So I put 4 new frets in, which were all considerably higher. I reduced the height with just a flat file, and then I've levelled the whole fingerboard, or the frets on the fingerboard, using just a regular levelling beam, one of which I have already. It's a piece of 2B1 steel, about 16 inches long. It's milled perfectly flat on both top and bottom edges. I have 240 grit on there and 400 grit on there, and I remove the main material off with a 240, smooth it off with a 400, and now what I'm going to need to do is I need to shape those 4 frets I've put in I will not be doing it with my regular beveling file, which I'll show you in a minute. Blah blah blah. That's for beveling edges. This file here, you get how that works. 35-degree angle. Not going to use that because it means me going across the whole neck. Blah blah blah. I'm just going to bevel those 90-degree edges. I'm going to bevel them just with a regular hand file. I've got two good hand files. I've got a number 2 Swiss cut, which is not so fine, a little bit coarse, and I've got a number 4 Swiss file made by Valorbe. It is a number 4 cut. It is as smooth and sharp as anything. So I will be doing it by hand, so I have to be a little bit careful on the edges of the frets, but sure, it'll be absolutely fine. I can use a fret guard bent over the side so I don't dig into the fingerboard. I'll show you exactly what I mean in a second. I've got one. There you go. It's a fret protection. What I'll do is I'll bend this over the edge of the fingerboard like so, and I'll be able to get right into the bevel without cutting into the fingerboard itself. So I think that's going to go really, really well. I could fold that even a little bit flatter, but I think that'll be okay. That'll work more or less. Let me get you on there. It'll work like this, and I can do this bevel this side. Can you see? You can do the bevel this side without touching the rosewood. That's going to work. So this guitar, dings and dongs, scratches all over it. The neck is now looking a lot better. I don't have all of the screws in there because I'll be taking this off to do the frets. I'll be actually screwing this onto a piece of MDF, so it gives me some stability and I can clamp it down. I can get these frets levelled and shaped properly, get them all recrowned. That's the only back plate I've got there. If I can find one that fits, even a black one, I'll stick it on there. No tremolo on with this. I have sold it on eBay. The guy is quite happy to wait for me to finish the work before I ship the guitar. He's paid 50 quid for it. So, you know, end of the day. So what I'm going to do is I'll try and do this guitar justice. I do have all of the bits in. Always stick them in a pot. I always put them in a pot. Blah, 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 blah. Original nut can go back on. There's all the bits in there. Blah, 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 blah. So we'll do this guitar, try and do this guitar as much justice as we are able. I'm going to crack on with the work right now. I'm not really going to film any great amount of it. I do have a back plate here. I wonder if one of these will fit. Just bear with me a second. Black one, miles too big. There you go. I do have a black one there. Good spare. I'll stick a black one on it. It's going to look better than that crappy white one, isn't it? I'll stick that on back because that white one's broke. I'll stick this one on there, maybe. I'll chuck the white one in the box when I ship it. So I'm going to crack on with this. I'm not going to film me crowning crowning frets. I do it on virtually every video I do. If you want to see me crowning frets, then go back on my channel and have a look at some of the ones I've already done. Because there's no point in doing it on every one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 frets to profile. Well, I need to profile a lot. I've got 4 frets to get the bevel edges sorted out on. Then I'm going to profile a lot. That basically means where I've now leveled the frets in the flat, I need to put that crown back in the fret. So where the string hits, blah 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 blah, it's just a minimal contact area. I normally try and aim for around about 1/3 of a millimetre maximum, sometimes even 1/4 of a millimetre. Not sharp, but just nice and rounded. Because minimal contact with the string means we've got less chance of getting any fret buzz anywhere or rattles, and we don't want fret buzz or rattles. Check back soon. So without further ado, I will set about getting these fret edges sorted out. And I've already done one, and I'm not putting a guard on there or anything. I'm just taking my files and I'm just being quite careful in how I approach this. I will zoom in a second. Just need to turn my phone off because it's a bit loud. And the reason I'm doing this just by hand without guarding anything is this is my job. I do this every day of the week. This is who I am. If you don't know me, most of you do who are watching this video. That's me, fret friend. I specialise in fret and network, but I do any kind of work on a guitar. Anyway, taking my course file, I've already done, is it number 16? Number 16. Just basically guiding the file and being careful when I get to the edge. Just getting a nice little bevel on there. I'll just zoom in just a little bit so you can see I'm working in this area, 16 and 15. It's just a matter of just getting a nice bevel in there, trying not to hit the guitar, and then changing over to a fine number 4 cut file, which we always clean the file before we use it. And we'll be going fret 15. And that is those two edges beveled. Are we in enough? That looks pretty perfect to me. Pleased with that one sticking out just a little bit. When we get to the edge, nice vertical. That one's not sticking out, that one was. Now we're not sticking out, we're good. And once we get to the nitty gritty, we can just come over and just there you go, and that's then that side of those two done. Going to continue. I've got fret 12 to do here. I've got one down here to do. I'm going to get this order off camera, and I'll come back and we'll get onto the recrowning. I'll show you how we go about recrowning the frets. Right, we now have the neck bolted to a piece of 3cm or 30mm MDF using the original neck plate. I've got the neck absolutely straight, which I already ascertained before I put the tape on. Got the neck absolutely straight, and now what I'm going to do is, where I've flattened the frets, I'm now going to put the crown in them, and the crown goes this way, and it goes that shape. The frets are flat at the moment, but we need to get the shape back in. So where the string sits, basically across the top there, or across this way, we need minimal contact, and I normally like to make it around about 1/4 of a millimetre wide. So what we need to do is take the flatness from these frets and put that crown back in, and I use various files for doing so. A 3-edge file like this is perfect with ground flat edges, so we can't dig into the wood. And what I'll do is, from the far side, as I come across file, I'll rotate over toward the camera, and when I do this side, I'll rotate away from the camera, and we'll gradually build up that curve, building it up both sides until we get that crown. Once I've done, I'll finish off with the profiling file, which I could use straight away, but I find it easier just to profile with these to remove any excess burrs. I prefer to do it with a 3-edge file. I have two files. I have a coarse one for removing a lot of material, and I have a fine one for smoothing it all off and making it more presentable. Once these are done, we will polish all the frets using various grits of sandpaper and steel wool to get them not just shiny, but to also remove all the scratches. So I'll show you how I work this. I'm going to do one on camera, and I'm going to do the rest off camera. So I'm going to just drop the camera angle down a little. This, by the way, with an intensive setup, I would charge £110 for to a regular punter. So you're getting this as well as the guitar for 50 quid. You haven't done that bad. Anyway, here we are. I'm going to do this one. I've covered it in marker pen. I'm going to zoom in like so, and I'm going to start. I always need a clean rag. Always wipe the files before use and after each one use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this file first. I'm going to remove material, and all I'm going to do is, the cut is on the forward stroke, but I'm going to rotate it gradually towards the camera just to start removing and start building that arc. But I'm going to go to the other side, do the same again, start vertical, and start angling it away from the camera. We now have a thin black line just down the centre of the fret. Take the file, clean it off, put it aside, start on the next one. Same procedure. Arcing this over toward the camera to build the arc on the far side. Clean, goes to the other side, building the arc on the other side. We now have a real thin black line down the centre of that fret. It's less than 1/3 millimetre, it's less than 1/4 millimetre, and that's beautiful. To finish off, we'll go with profiling file. And we now have that beautiful crown. Where it was flat on top before, it's now crowned beautifully. And what we'll do is check the level of the frets as we go along. Shouldn't have altered anything. And the frets level, so we know that's absolutely fine. And there you go. I do have 20 odd more frets to do, so I'm going to work my way along the fretboard and crack on with it. I'll come back and show you the results later. And here we are, all done. All the frets are now profiled. They're no longer flat. They have that curve going across that way, across all 21 or 22 frets, however many they are. Where are we? 12, 15, 17, 19, 20, 22 frets this. I'm going to go across with a fret rocker, just make sure all the frets are level. They are, because I've already checked, but we'll just go across with a rocker. So we now have a level flat neck with level frets. No rock anywhere. 4 frets have been replaced and all of the frets have been profiled. Now what we need to do next is we need to polish these frets, remove all the scratch lines on them from the files. And we do that by polishing with various grits of wet and dry sandpaper. I will go through 6 grits from 800 through to 2500 grit, and I'll finish off with finest grade steel wool to bring them up to a nice, we'll remove all the scratches. And we'll bring them up to a nice glass-like shine. The frets will then be superbly playable, will be fantastic, and the neck will be good for many years to come. Yeah, for this job alone, just doing fret levelling, recrowning and polishing, I would charge £75, or is it £85 to charge now? £85 I charge for that. So you're getting your money's worth here. So I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to remove it from the piece of MDF, I'll get it in a vise, and I'll proceed to polish the frets. Once they're all polished, I can remove the tape, we can get the nut back on, we can treat the fingerboard with some more mineral oil, and we can put the neck back on the guitar. So we're now getting right down to the nitty gritty. I've already started polishing the frets, and I've been across with 2 different grades of sandpaper so far, 4 more to do, blah 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 blah, getting progressively finer till we're right at the end. Once that's done, I'll finish off with finest grade steel wool. We're already getting a really nice shine on them, as you can probably see. I'm just going through the grits right now, moving up to the next one. It's just a matter of over the top and into the corners, far corner, inside corner, and it's just give them a good polish. I've already been down the edges. I've also removed all the burrs from the edges using a super fine file, just arcing over. Like I said, I've got 4 more grits to do, then I've got steel wool to go with, so it's going to take me quite a while. This job alone is something I charge £100, well I charge £85 for a fret level and recrown and polish. So you're getting that as well as an intensive setup on top of the price, on top of the guitar, all for free. The guitar will be in superb playable condition when I get it, I absolutely guarantee it. So I'm going to crack on with this, get it done, then we can get the guitar put back together. I've just got time to fit this in before I lose the light, because it's just getting a bit dusky at the moment now. This is the neck finished. I've just finished polishing the frets. So this neck has had a complete fret, I've replaced 4 frets, a complete fret level, recrowned all the frets, that's where they were once flat, we're now recrowned along this way, and I've just polished them. 6 grits of sandpaper and steel wool to finish off. So the neck is now ready to go back on the guitar. I'm not going to faff about talking about it, I'm going to actually do it. Next part of the video, I will have a guitar built up with a set of Ernie Ball 942s on there, blah 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 blah, and I can then get it all packed up, ready to ship out on Monday. So, check back tomorrow. So friends, I wouldn't normally do a video in this kind of light. It's dark now. Don't know what time it is. It's about 6 PM ish on a Friday night. I should have been done a couple of hours ago, but I wanted to get this Yamaha finished, and I've got it finished, and it's beautiful. Look at it. After getting the neck back on, after I polished all the frets and all that, I've stuck a set of Ernie Ball 942s on there. I've set the radius on the saddles, set the intonation, put the nut back on, put the tuners back on obviously, blah 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 blah. This one's a bit odd because it was bent at one side and the prongs are missing that go inside the wood, but I've glued it in there, so that'll have to do. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to show some of the dings and knocks on there, because this has got dings and knocks all over, and I put all this information on my eBay ad, but I'm going to go and email the guy who bought it on eBay and ask him if he still wants it, even with all these knocks and dings and dongs on it. Email to explain them, because some people can be a bit funny. And we'll get it, oh, I didn't know it was that bad. Well, I said how bad it was. It's got dings and dongs and knocks everywhere. The reason I'm doing this is, if he's changed his mind, I'll give him his money back. And I'll stick this on YouTube to sell. Because I've had a couple of guys, if you remember my last guitar I did, that I sold for £48, was a Schecter Omen 6 Extreme. The guitar's worth 430 quid new. Well, it was absolutely battered, so I fixed it up, got it playing perfect, gave it a fret level, put new pickups in there, new pots and everything. I sold it for £48. And a load of guys on there said, "You're mad? You sold 48 quid, 50 quid. He said, if you've got any more guitars coming up for 50 quid with £125 setup, let me know first and I'll buy it." So, if the guy changes his mind about this, I'll bring it on YouTube and someone can buy it. And I'll sell it pretty cheap. It'll be open to offers. How's that? The guitar is absolutely spot on. I've set the action above the 12th fret on my low E, just over 1.75mm. And just over 1.5mm on the high E. Tiny bit of relief, about a quarter of a millimetre or 0.2 of a millimetre, round about the 9th fret. The strings are cut very low above the 1st fret, nuts nice and low there. The guitar has had one of my proper setups. The electrics are absolutely bang on. Got some switch cleaner in there, I've tested them. Nice steel saddles. This guitar is better than a Squire, much better than a Squire. These are just really, really well made guitars. Anyway, I'm sure the guy who bought it on eBay is going to be happy to have the guitar as is anyway. I do have a box, a brand new guitar box over here ready to pack it in, and I have no problem with selling it to him for £50, which is what he paid. Absolutely fantastic. It's more than I paid for it. But then again, you know, it's the amount of work it's had on it as well. This guitar plays absolutely pristine. I absolutely guarantee that these frets are level. These frets are recrowned and these frets are polished. The guitar plays fantastic. Neck is straight, the truss rod works, all the electrics work. It's absolutely brilliant. So, I'm going to get this one all boxed up, ready to go, unless the guy changes his mind. I'm going to send him this video so he can see this video, and if he changes his mind and says, oh, I don't want it, I'm absolutely happy with that, no problem at all. We'll see where we are, but that is it. This project is now finished, fret friends. So, just before I go, remind you of my website, facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. My name is Victor Christian. I am Fret Friend. And until next time, boys and girls, as always, be good to each other, because someone's watching. Be good to each other, and I will see you soon.